Alright, this is the last school wind machine here. I'm going to document the cleaning of this one a little bit more closely because I expect this to turn out a fair bit better than the Vornados did. Now the Vornados turned out good, but they got a lot of paint damage and stuff. This one should clean up to pretty much brand new. So let's get some good before shots here. Actually, let me just start it up first. I'll go on, I think, low. It's the first speed. Okay, medium. Doesn't really work on low. Let's do medium. It kind of works a little bit on medium, and then doesn't actually pick up until high. Alright, it doesn't work on high either. Spin down time is very short. So I'm going to go ahead and start taking this apart. I've never taken these apart before, so I'm going to do it very slowly, make sure I'm doing it right. Because this is a pretty cool piece, I don't want it to get broken. So I'll pick up the video again when I got the cover off. Wish I had the video on when this came apart. That was pretty eventful. These parts went flying everywhere and everything. Anyways, it's apart now. Gotta get the blade off and then we'll go from there. I don't think this thing's ever been cleaned. This is a crazy amount of dust on there. Alright, I got the whole thing apart. Struggling to get the blade off the motor though. There's a clip in there. Well, you won't be able to see it, but there's a clip on there. I gotta get it off, and then it should come off after I get the clip off, hopefully. But if not, worst comes to worst, it can be oiled from the front, and it can billet from the back, and the rest of the dust can be blown out. So it doesn't come off. It won't be a big deal, but I'd like to get it off. Alright, at this point, I took this switch thing off. I'm going to split the motor now, and hopefully I can get the blade off once I get the stator and the back bearing out of the way. Alright, that was the exact result I was hoping for. Now I gotta see if I can get the blade off now. I'm actually going to include this part in the video because this is a really good technique that I always like to use when the blade gets locked on there. At this point I just have the rotor and the blade on. A blade assembly here. And the front bearing is still there too, but that's irrelevant. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the blade down and slowly twist this back and forth, and it is moving in there. And I'm just going to very gently pull up on it as I do that, and it will take a while. It's moved about 1/8 of an inch so far, but this will get it off undamaged nearly every time. It's coming. And it's about more than halfway there now. Ah, there we go. Okay. And that was successful. Nothing got damaged, and we have the result that we wanted, which was the blade coming off. The reason that was stuck on there is because the lubricant, or the grease, that was on here, which is supposed to help the blade to come off easily, has gummed up over time, and it's more like a solid glue at this point. So that's why it got stuck on there. I'm going to scrape all that off and put new on there. Took a bite out of my finger, so I got to stop and clean that out. Before I put this back together, I want to make a couple of remarks about the motor here. Move that stuff aside. This is the motor, and for being a budget fan, which is so budget that the stinking motor housing is plastic, this is actually a really good stator. If you look at these windings, the wire gauge is actually relatively thick, and I mean, it's not a bad motor at all. So for those people that knock these things, I don't know what you're talking about, because there's nothing wrong with this motor. It's got oil wicks in there and everything. This is a decent motor. Alright, here it is all clean. Came out pretty good. The blade is really, really nice. I didn't bring it down yet. Here's the other part of the grill. I'm going to begin the assembly process now. Here's a blade. Blade came out really nice. It's got a good shine to it. Got the motor back in the cabinet, and I gotta put the motor on the gotta put the blade back on the motor, and then gotta sort out how those go back on, and then I'll be good to go. I gotta wipe off the stand still. I didn't do that, but everything else is clean. Alright, here it is all cleaned up. This is one of the most frustrating things I've ever assembled, and I mean I've assembled a lot of different fans, and this is definitely among the most frustrating. But nonetheless, it is together and it looks great. Came out perfect. Hope it runs well. I haven't tried it yet, so let's have at it. Here's a low. Turn this off, or the ceiling fan off, that is. Okay, there's low. Seems to be running at a relatively normal speed. Not moving a whole ton of air, but well, actually, it's moving a decent breeze, I guess. Not as much as I would have thought, but it is moving air. Let's go to medium. It's throwing a good breeze now. Very loud though. I'm gonna go up to high. Yeah, it's moving a good breeze now. It's ridiculously loud, but not bad. And then I'll switch it off. Plenty of spin down time. Good. Okay, very happy with that project.